This season at Boston Pizza, you can Boston size your bud starting from just $1 more. That's what buds do.
Those two are settling in for a ball game and clearly supporting the visiting team as the Blue Jays take on the Brewers tonight on Sportsnet. A quick peek at the lineup for the Blue Jays tells us this, that Davis Schneider is not in it. It's been a while since he's been omitted from the lineup, but that is the case after he has gone 0 for his last 17. You will see Horwitz leading things off. Jansen, Guerrero Jr., there's Bo hitting fourth, hitting a $163 in his last 11. And then Varsho, Turner, Springer, Kiner Falefa, and Kiermaier for the Blue Jays. Time for the big board presented by Bet365. Let's talk about Schneider with Blake Murphy. How have pitchers for the last week been keeping him hitless?
A lot of fastballs, and this isn't anything entirely new. When David Schneider first came up from AAA last year, the book on him was, hey, pitchers are going to try him up and they're going to try him in with hard stuff. He's done a good job adjusting for that in his career. He's hit fastballs pretty well. But what we're seeing over the last couple of weeks is pitchers are going back to that. Here you can see kind of a rolling average of his OPS and the fastball usage. We could include sinkers and cutters in this, and it would tell the same story. Pitchers are throwing him different variations of fastballs almost 70% of the time over the last 2 weeks. I'm not too worried about this. The approach still looks pretty good. The numbers for his career against fastballs are really strong. The only difference here he really has to figure out is this is the most pitchers have ever attacked him on the outside edge of the plate. So that's just the next evolution for David Schneider, being able to cover even more of the plate to the outside.
All right, so Carlos Rodriguez becomes the 16th player from Nicaragua to play in the major leagues. The best among them was El Presidente, Dennis Martinez. What are we expecting from this young man?
Not stuff to quite the Dennis Martinez level, but he's going to throw a lot at the Blue Jays. And stop me if you heard this recently with Oakland and Colin Ray. You're going to hear it again tomorrow too. But this is a pitcher who's going to keep you off balance using 6 different pitches. Now, ERA over 5 in AAA. Don't let that fool you. Over his last 6 starts, he's been very, very good. And what he'll do is he'll locate a fastball. It's only 92, 93, but he does a good job keeping it up in the zone. And then you also have to keep honest for the cutter and the sinker. The slider is really good. The curveball is excellent. He should probably throw it even more. That's his big swing and miss pitch. And hey, there's a changeup there too. So a lot of weak contact from Carlos Rodriguez. Again, another one of those guys trying to keep you off balance.
Only 4 teams in the National League are above 500. The Brewers are one of them. How are they doing that?
They're doing a really good job of, hey, how do you win without the long ball necessarily? They're not a bad home run hitting team, but they don't hit a ton of them. And how do you do that? The first is kind of the modern version of small ball, which is you take every extra base you can on the bases, whether that's bunting, whether that's base stealing, whether that's going first to third a little better by hitting behind a runner. They are the #1 team in baseball by base running. They are a top 5 bullpen, so you get in these close, shortened games. They're very good at shortening the game. The bullpen pitches more innings than any other team in the league. And then, hey, the Jays want to play, hey, we're a defense team, we're a defense team. The Brewers, one of the few teams doing it even better on the defensive end. Oh, by the way, they also have the #3 ranked farm system and a bottom 10 payroll, and they're headed for the playoffs for the 6th time in 7 years.
Oh, my goodness. That is Blake Murphy, and that is the big board presented by Bet365. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. And here is Milwaukee's lineup for Game 2. Yelich is without an extra